And we're back on another exciting episode of Starfleet Boy, where we have a casual and informal conversation about Star Trek. Wow, there's already 5 people watching. Hi, everyone.
It's too many.
Crazy.
Go away.
That's like don't listen to Hottie Toddy. He's just jealous. He only had 30 million people on his stream earlier today. So
Exactly.
You had about 5 people. Hi, everyone.
About 5 people.
Say hello. Say hello in the audience. I'm joined today by wonderful Earl Grey Trekkie, also known as Robbie.
Hiya.
How's it going? Thanks for coming on so late.
It's well, actually. I don't feel tired today. I had a good sleep last night.
Excellent. I'm glad that that's the case, because I know me, if I didn't take my little cat nap, I wouldn't be able to function. And of course, we have our Hottie Toddy, which, by the way, I'm going to switch. I like to be on the bottom, so I'm going to switch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm going to switch you to the top. That is untrue in other ways. Just whatever. This is too early for that after dark. Although this is my
first Starfleet Boy After Dark episode, but it's before dark.
It is before dark, not for us, but it is before dark for Robbie. Robbie, this is your first Starfleet Boy After Dark, so welcome to the channel. We got wow, it's so awesome.
Serendipitous. I had no idea this was going to be a thing. To be honest, he didn't know this was going to be a thing early this morning either.
I didn't either. This was an impromptu.
This was forced by Blue Spark.
Blue Spark. Is it Spark or Spark? Are we agreeing that it's Spark? I think I don't know.
It's Baby Boy Blue.
Baby Boy. Oh, I like Baby Boy Blue way better. It's a really good nickname. So yes, Blue was harassing Trek on the Tube on his stream. I felt like it. Sorry, Blue. I know you're a beloved audience member and you come to all of our streams, but you were a little aggressive.
It was fine. It was fine. It was fan investment.
It's true.
What he was doing is what I do to the Hageman brothers about Prodigy and Janeway. So it's fine.
Well, it worked. So look, you got your Janeway reveal.
I got my Janeway.
You got your Janeway reveal, and so Blue got his impromptu Star Trek First Contact Day stream. Text Trek is here and says, "Why on Sabad and not Sabi? Sabah.
That is true. Why on Starfleet? Why on this channel and not the other one?
This could have been a stream that we did on Starfleet Boy Actual, is what I like to call it, by the way. However, I'm trying to get
original.
So I'm trying to get folks to get used to this channel as well. So yeah, just thought I'd do it. And also it's like a little bit after dark, so I thought it was more apropos.
So this is like how they released Voyager on some like shitty network just to drive audiences there. You're doing the same thing. You're putting us on this secondary network to drive audiences here.
Wow. Yes, that is exactly my plan. You've figured me out. That's it. It's over. Hey, PE, nice to see you. Greetings to you as well. And then yay, we have Evan, yeah, same question, I just answered it. By the way, Evan, if you're all caught up on the First Contact news and you have some thoughts and opinions about it, you're welcome to come on. Let me know. I'll shoot you a link in the private area. Not the private area, but you know what I meant. Like, I'll send you. Toddy's got.
Why it's on Starfleet Boy.
This is why I can freely make these awful mistakes on Starfleet Boy After Dark. I feel a lot more pressure on Starfleet Boy Actual. First time I've seen Robbie's hair. Sorry, Robbie, putting you on the spot here. There you go.
I'll be back in a minute.
Oh, great. Toddy will be back in a minute. Jude says serendipitous. I had no idea this was going to be a thing. Yep. I guess that it's on the SBAD because at least one person is going to get intoxicated during the live stream. No. Drinking is not a prerequisite to be on Starfleet Boy After Dark. It just means it's like a different, it's like, but someone might be drinking. Look, Robbie's drinking water. Did you know that you could get water intoxication?
Yeah, if you drink too much, it's bad for you.
It is bad for you. So should we jump right in? We've got quite a few people in the audience already, it looks like.
If you want to, yeah.
All right, so I guess we will start with the first panel that they did, which was the Star Trek Picard panel, and we got a teaser. Toddy did not see the panel. It was a lot of fun. We got Sir Patrick Stewart and Will Wheaton at first, and then we got the reveal of Q. John Delancey came on the stream, and it was really like quite a moment when he appeared. He was on his boat. I know he has a sailing boat. He was on his boat, and that was cool. But what was your biggest takeaway from that panel, Bobby?
I was just so excited to see Patrick Stewart so happy. You know, he looked serious before John Delancey showed up on his boat, and that's so cute, like, you know, to appear from his boat. And Patrick Stewart just was like, oh no, it's cute, and it looked natural. I thought that was brilliant, and then I'm so excited to see Q back because John Delancey, he had a wonderful performance in Lower Decks, and he's such a brilliant character. And I've always thought, at the end of All Good Things, when he says the trial never ends, we need to see Q again torment Picard in some capacity.
I remember a lot of people were hoping to get Q in season 1 at some point, including I actually was a little absurd, maybe not a little, maybe a lot absurd. I wanted everyone. Remember that, Toddy? Yeah. Like my predictions for sure. I wanted
there are things that we all want, and then there are things that are realistic to predict, but you don't make a difference. You're like, I want it all. I want it now.
My prediction was like my desire, so yeah, totally wanted that. But also in the some eagle-eyed Trekkies.
Beverly needs to be in Picard, I'm sorry, at least before, like, I'm assuming Picard is going to be 3 seasons. That's my prediction, and then it'll end. Beverly needs to be in there at some point, because God, the fandom will feel that if she's not in the show ever.
I don't think they're gonna jip us out of. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to drop everything over there. I don't think they'll jip us out of getting that everybody back on Picard at some point. I just think they are gonna do it in a measured way. So we already know we're getting Whoopi Goldberg come back as Guinan this season, and now we know we are getting Q come back as Q, or John Delancey coming back as Q. I had to change this out and put a little shuttle here, a little appropriate shuttle. What do you?
This is my Guinan.
Wait, is it like? It's like this thing, right?
Does she do something more? I don't know. I want the fight.
We should stage the.
You've gone muted. Or I can't hear you anymore.
No, sorry about that. I actually accidentally clicked mute. Earl Grey Trekkie, we're going to stage the fight. Toddy's going to be Q, I'm going to be Guinan, and you're going to be Jean-Luc. Okay, so here we go.
What?
You're supposed to be like...
I'm Q?
Get this. You want to be Guinan? Do you want to be Guinan? Or
I don't know. What does Guinan do? Because Q just does this.
Picard's just straight-faced all the time, isn't he?
So
you should be Picard because you've got the haircut. But
all right, hold on. Let me switch you. Okay, so you're the Q now, Earl Grey Trekkie, and Toddy is Guinan.
Yeah, I'll be.
Okay.
This is my Guinan
hat.
Is this good enough for Guinan?
Okay, so this is speculative. We're meeting. So this is Star Trek Picard season 2 when Guinan and Q meet on screen for the first time. I'll let Guinan start. Go ahead, Guinan.
Q, he's back.
Shut up, Q. Get off my bridge. Actually, he can cuss now, so he'll finally get the fuck off my bridge. He can finally curse. All right, that was great. Thank you guys for indulging me. I hope the audience enjoyed that.
Fantastic.
Jill's here.
I hope you're watching because that's the scene.
Actually, he tweeted out that Sir Patrick Stewart did an amazing read of something, and I'm wondering if it was the narration that we hear behind the teaser. I don't recognize that. That's not from anything, right? That's all brand new kind of like dialogue, right?
It must be. They reused footage from what I understand, like and then they added that on top of it. From what I'm seeing.
PE says since they previously said that Guinan will be appearing on Picard season 2, maybe that means that Q and Guinan will be interacting. This could be an opportunity to resolve the mystery between them. Yeah, or actually like extend it even further and get some more scenes.
Wait a minute. How are you structuring this? Are we talking about everything at once, or are we diving into like Picard straight away?
I have banners for each section going in order of how it went in the panel. So next we'll talk about Women in Motion, then Star Trek Discovery, then Star Trek Lower Decks, and then Star Trek Mission Chicago.
Okay.
But we could jump around. Audience, you can jump around too if you have questions, and if you have a limited time and you have questions about any particular thing.
Because I have a question about Picard. If you want to like start there.
Yeah, 100%. Go for it.
Okay. Q seems to be a really big thing in like the way they're teasing the show. Like they didn't just say, "Oh, this is new Star Trek Picard. By the way, we're bringing back Q." It was kind of like Q is going to be a centerpiece in this story because they've got the whole trial, continues on, it never ends. And I'm wondering, first of all, if they're going to put him back in that Q costume from like the pilot and the finale. Like the judge kind of costume that he has, and I'm wondering if he's going to be kind of like maybe not a villain, but so much like an antagonist throughout the entire season, and that it's like the overarching story is like Q really harassing them or really judging Picard based on how he is now. Like he's changed a lot, and based on his decisions regarding like the Romulans or how he handled his career, that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm wondering. If Q is going to be like the main antagonist or something.
As much as I love Q, I wouldn't want to see him overshadow Picard if he was kind of across all of the episodes. I think I'd prefer if he wasn't in all of the episodes, maybe like maybe he pops in now and again, but I wouldn't want him to appear too much. I'd want it to be kind of tantalizing, not tidbits, but I think if he appeared in every single episode, it wouldn't be as interesting to me. I'd like him to appear less, but it'd be a bit more exciting. Although if he appeared for a very small amount in each episode, then I would like that.
I have a feeling I was on the Trek Lad stream a little bit earlier, and so I think he'll at the very least bookend the series and maybe pop in the middle, because it would be a little. I think what it's going to be is like, I think they're going to structure it very similarly to like how Q always kind of appears in Star Trek, and especially in All Good Things. I know I keep going back to All Good Things, but I feel like Star Trek Picard is like All Good Things like extended, right? In a weird way.
Before you carry on, we can all agree the Q that we're going to get is not a Robin Hood Q. Like he's not. It's not going to be a comedic story. This is a tapestry, All Good Things kind of Q.
I agree. I agree with that. I think so. I predict that will be the case. But I do think that he'll pop in maybe by episode 3 at the latest, if not in the beginning, and if not starting from episode 1. And then he'll probably, set something in motion, and then Picard will adventure, maybe even forget about whatever he has to do because things are going crazy, in real life, and then pop in somewhere in the middle as a little, maybe a little cog in the wrench, wrench in the cogs or whatever the expression is, and then come in at the end and do something extraordinary. I don't know. There's a lot of predictions out there. One of them is that like Picard will be put back into a regular body. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that
judge him based on that. He might come at him like, I was judging humans, but you're not human anymore.
Oh, I would love that. That would be quite funny.
Interesting. Yeah, it would be interesting.
Like, I need someone else. Give me someone else to judge.
By the way, Eagle-Eyed, I was trying to say earlier, Eagle-Eyed folks caught the 5 queens, Queen of Hearts in Star Trek Picard season 1, and we're speculating about the appearance of Q. And so I believe that was an intentional kind of drop. I don't know that like necessarily Michael Chabon was planning to do series 2 and always wanted Q in it, or if they always intended Q in it, but like I think that was an intentional, like maybe just in case if we do a Q story, people will go back and be like, oh my god, they put it in the first episode.
That's more the case. I feel like it's either a case of like we're gonna put Qs in so that people will think we're geniuses once we actually get Q, or it was something like because people think Qs automatically, but it was Queens, so it could also be a Borg reference. It could also be a reference to like the number of all-female organizations that we saw in Star Trek Picard the first season. Like, it doesn't have to be a Q thing.
This comment gave me goosebumps. Q was sending messages to Picard in his dreams. I've often wondered where the dreams to me are very interesting about season 1 because they're somewhat
Q
prophetic.
ships Picard and Data secretly, so he sent it in Picard's dreams.
But I mean, it is a Q like thing, and he certainly. That seems like it's within his ability to do that. And Data wasn't influencing that. I don't know what was influencing that, but it was certainly somehow guiding Jean-Luc to where he had to go. So good call. That's a really good call out, Jill. I wonder if they'll address that and if that'll be the case. I hope so. It gave me goosebumps when you wrote it. So very cool.
And they were playing cards on 10 Forward.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So that's Guinan's domain. I mean, she wasn't there.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It's very there's like very interesting.
It's Guinan's kind of like place
a little foreshadowing of Guinan
degree.
as well. So we had the foreshadowing of Guinan and Q, possibly in that dream.
We'll do this. They'll think we're geniuses.
So genius. Maybe they really are, Toddy. Maybe
they really are. Maybe I'm not giving them enough credit.
It kind of bugs me that they kept on saying this is the first time John Delancey will be portraying Q after all these years, when in fact he appeared as Q on Lower Deck. Hey, I didn't realize they were doing that. I'm picky about these things. Yeah, that would kind of bug me too. He did come back on Lower Decks, and he was also in that game, right? Like the cutscenes. What was the game that he was in? A lot of people play it online these days as a nostalgia thing, but I can't remember. So everyone here saw the trailer, right?
Yes.
So what are the things that stood out in the scenes? Because what it really is like I don't even know if you could call it a teaser, because it doesn't tell you anything. It's like, I think of it as like what do you call it when you're introducing a character? Or I think it was designed specifically, obviously, just to announce Q. So I would call it an announcement, a Q announcement. And
like
of course,
promo.
there's like a promo. Yeah, it's a good idea. So like the Q promo, Q promo is something at Apple we used to have, and we called it it was called the quarterly promo. So that's kind of funny to me. But because it like all ends with that, like it all ends with the card, and it disintegrates into the Q. Are you watching the trailer right now, Toddy?
No, I'm trying to find some really high definition photographs of Prodigy Janeway, because I'm like,
we gotta put, if you do, we'll put that up there on the
I'm trying to find like the best definition ones that I can find. I want full Janeway. I want all of those legs on my screen.
I'm gonna ask Database Boy to
I am listening. You're talking about how
what stood out to you
seemed designed specifically to introduce Q. And I do think it's because, well, that's the only show that we got a trailer for that isn't coming out this year, so they probably don't have that much footage for it. Terry Matlas and his team are probably still, wrapping up how they want to, I suppose, structure the story, or what kind of story they want to tell. And then, of course, I think getting Q and getting John Delancey to come back and be Q, and that's a big win for them. So they were probably very proud and probably wanted to show that. So yeah, it is very much designed around that. And then, as you said earlier, if he did make a comment about a very good read, a table read, it's probably something. Maybe not, maybe it isn't, but there's a good chance it is the voiceover that we got for the teaser here. There's not that much. This is the teaser trailer that showed us the least of what's going on, because basically what we now know is Q's coming, and we knew that Guinan was coming, but that's not in the teaser at all. But I am probably the most intrigued. Like I'm very excited for Lower Decks, but I kind of now know what to expect from Lower Decks. And this is very hard on you, Mike McMahon, but basically what I need from Lower Decks is for you to be as good. That's it. That's the challenge. Whereas Picard now, I want to be surprised, but I am very, very intrigued with what's, what kind of story they're going to tell. We're still not getting archaeology Picard, though. You're muted again. You dreadful person.
Thank you. We might. Did you see the thing he was restoring from DS9? It looked like. I mean, we don't know that that's happening.
Oh,
but
that's right. There's a whole prophet thing. It looks like the Eiffel Tower, by the way.
It does look like Le Tour Eiffel. That's probably why Jean-Luc was interested in. He's like, I must repair this. But by the way,
bullshit. It is French.
By the way, we celebrate with you too. My second dose or my second jab is next week on Tuesday. I'm really excited. So a week from today. So congratulations on being fully vaccinated. Unfortunately, Canada.
Happy vaccination to everyone. Oh yeah, we're getting the dreadful rollout.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Roll out. You don't know that song?
No, I don't know that song. But I thought of you when that poor rapper had
DMX.
Yeah, DMX, who I've never heard his music, I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so. I must have, because he's like supremely popular. So I'm sure I heard it in my life. I'm sure I've heard it, but I can't attribute anything by through direct knowledge. So, but I thought of you. I thought, Todd, you must be sad about this. I thought that's why maybe you were in such a bad mood.
I'm not the biggest fan of DMX.
Okay.
I know about him, and I've heard a couple of his songs, but yeah, it's always sad to.
What about you, EGT, and the audience? What were the standout things that were in the trailer for you, in the teaser?
Apart from Q, you were saying about the DS9 tablet, and that has got me so excited, because one of my, maybe not my complaints, but the things that I've been disappointed with your Star Trek a wee bit is, we've had Voyager references and we've had Picard TNG references, but we've not really had Deep Space Nine, and I love Deep Space Nine. So even just to see the tablet is awesome, and I hope there's a deeper connection. Maybe it's too much to ask for a Deep Space Nine character like Kira, but just even that Deep Space Nine connection really was exciting to me. I just want more Deep Space Nine in my new Star Trek. And then also just even Picard's, I think it was his, I imagine it's his new quarters, just kind of revamped. But I loved the look, all of the archaeological artifacts and the new ornaments. It looked a lot more warm and lively, and kind of like what to me Picard would have in his ready room. Even the chair, it looked like the chair from his Enterprise E ready room.
Yeah, with the Mintakan tapestry.
What I predict, there's like half of this is real theorycraft, the other half is what I want, but that probably won't happen. The first half that is real theorycraft is I think we're going to get yet another little time jump. Not a big one, but a little time jump where like all of these characters that were introduced in season 1 kind of know each other better now. Like we can jump straight into like basically character dynamics where these characters kind of know each other. They've been doing missions together, and so Picard's mood, like he's more on the mindset or more on the mood of what he was when he was a captain or when he was on duty, right? Because he was an admiral at some point.
Well, it certainly suggests he's more of his old self, because there's so much more of his life's belongings spread out through the chateau. Like you can see he's like starting to put stuff. He took stuff, it looks like, out of the archives and put them back into his home. If that's not the holographic chateau that we're seeing, we might be seeing.
And so
we might be seeing the chateau on the mini chateau on the La Serena.
On La Serena. With that, I think that he would be more comfortable with also going to speak with his old friends. So that might justify him going to see Guinan. Like I don't necessarily want him to be like it needs to be a last resort situation that he has to go and see Guinan the same kind of way it was with Riker and Troy. Like, it'd be nice to just see, he's comfortable going and meeting his old friends. The other thing that I think that I want to happen that I don't think will happen is we're going to get a Prophet storyline and a return of Cisco. That would mind blow the fandom. That would be like the biggest thing.
It would be insane.
Do you mean Avery Brooks coming back?
Yeah, it would be.
Oh
Yes.
wow, that would be amazing.
There's a lot of people like kind of already hoping for it, and I think Sirach Lofton suggested or was saying that Avery Brooks is not disinterested. Like it's not that he doesn't want to.
Who would be
back to Star Trek.
disinterested in working with like Sir Patrick Stewart? That's the thing, right? Like if I tell you we're doing this show, you only have to come back for a season, you're gonna be acting across Sir Patrick Stewart. It's like, well, yes. I mean, what are you gonna say no?
Yeah, you can't say no to Sir Patrick. It's true.
So, and
I thought you said I would be disinterested.
No. Like, who would be disinterested?
I was like, wow,
disinterested?
I was like, wow, Toddy just shot himself in the foot. He's never gonna work with Sir Patrick Stewart's like, shut that Starfleet boy off right now.
Turn him off.
Turn it off. Call someone. It's like, no, yes, you're right.
Police.
Who wouldn't want to work with Sir Patrick? And
yeah, I would love to see a conclude. I know that technically we kind of got a conclusion to the Prophet arc, but is that really a conclusion to the Cisco arc? So it would be nice to see like because he does say that he'll come back.
Yep. And
right?
he does.
We know that he's going to come back.
He comes back in the comics, if I'm not mistaken, and I think they were not canon, sir. Not canon. Oh, the canon cop's back, and he's British now. And they did say, that in season 8, I think they were like maybe they were playing with it. I think that maybe Cisco would return when there was a dire need for him to return, when there was something so bad that he would return. I didn't have time to write down.
Picard would become like the wrap up of Picard would become like as a show would become like the wrap up of TNG and Deep Space Nine. You know what I mean? It would be like the big conclusion show for like all of these story arcs that people have been craving for so long.
I wonder if Cisco and Picard would still be hostile.
They made amends. I feel like they.
If you think Picard is different, just wait till Cisco comes back from his life as a prophet. Him coming back a prophet. Yeah, him coming back because he was the emissary before. I think I said prophet anyway. Him coming back from a life as like a non-corporeal, non-linear time being. You'll see how changed he is, right? He would be completely different. He might actually get along well with Picard. Or maybe they were other way around. Now Picard's more the aggressive one. And he's the more, dare I say, enlightened or kind of like...
I think Picard, some of that was from his condition from the advanced aromatic syndrome. So I think he would probably be a more like familiar and even keeled Picard. But yeah, Cisco's, basically like imbued with the power of the... if you're talking about a formidable opponent to the Q... Other than Guinan, we don't know what Guinan's full abilities are with the thing, But if you're talking about a formidable opponent to the Q, I would imagine the Cisco, capital T. The Cisco would, in fact, be an interesting challenger to the Q. But that's interesting. That's wild. A wild theory. I don't know if any of that's gonna actually happen. It would be really fun to see if they can weave something like that together, and do it.
Terry,
Star Trek Picard.
What are you doing?
Star Trek Picard already included Voyager in a way, so it would be cool to see. If not Cisco, then I would love to see at least Kira or Jake, or even Ezri, especially. Just like to get a prominent character from Voyager, from Deep Space Nine into the mix, not just a mention.
You have to bring Jake back. Like if it's the return of Benjamin Sisko, then you have to have Jake somewhere in the show, right? It would you have to. You can't bring the father and then not have the son.
Jill, he's Picard's fremesis.
I don't believe
He's not
Sorry.
necessarily. He's a premises. Go on. Sorry, EGT.
I don't believe in a million years that Cisco would return. I'd love him to return, but it would be so interesting if he did return, because we know that Cisco punched Q in the face, so obviously they have that kind of hostile relationship, if you could call it that.
Can you
They come back as they come back as buddies.
Can you
As
imagine
then-
what
They
Prophet
piss off
Cisco's
Picard
punch-
together.
Can you imagine what Prophet Cisco's punch would be like? Q, I'm sending you back to the continuum. Like it's just like goodbye.
Yeah, he's more like Q now, probably, with being a prophet and all.
No, I agree. Sorry, GT. Go ahead and finish your thought.
And then lastly, I hope that we see Lars and Saban. I don't want them to be dead. That would be really a shame, because those two characters were one of the best parts of the show for me. Their small appearances. I thought the actors really had great charisma. And I hope we'd never see Narek or Commander O again.
Fuck off.
Or Narissa. Do you want to see Narissa again?
No, I don't want to see Narissa.
You're very right about Laris and Zaban, and I think
They're
that
still alive. They're at the chateau. They're running the place.
not only do we all love them because like the actors did wonderful jobs and the characters were so compelling, but it's more than that. They are very meaningful characters in the sense that they are Romulans living on Earth in a first season full of xenophobia and hatred between these two species. You have two Romulans living on Earth. No humans are throwing stones at the chateau. Like, no one's angry that these Romulans are living here. They're not treated like vampires, that they have to hide away. And they're very happy, both of these Romulans living among humans, and they're very happy with like the decisions and what Picard did. So they're very meaningful. A lot more than like what we give them credit. You know what I mean? They're not just two characters that we like. I think they're more than that. So yes, we absolutely need to see them again.
Yeah, I can pretty much confidently. I'll bet $5 right here to this
You'll
group.
bet $5
$5 that we'll get Laris and Javon back in season 2 for sure. If not right away in the first episode. It does look like he is back at the chateau.
Would you be willing to bet the loss of your right to give every episode of Picard season 2 a 10?
Wow. You're like you're playing a game tonight. You're playing a high stakes game tonight.
No, I'll leave you be. It's fine.
I don't know. It's so hard. It's so hard.
Based on our theories alone, the whole of Picard season 2 is all 10s. So
it's all 10s just based on these theories. PE also said, so PE said Cisco will return when the galaxy is in dire need of his assistance or when Avery Brooks is offered sufficiently large sums of cash from Viacom CBS. I agree with that statement.
Fair enough. I mean, fair enough.
Give him all the money. Give it all to him now.
I don't necessarily think, because parenthesis, you say William Shatner could come back. Like, he's expressed interest in returning, but he's also expressed interest in never being Kirk again. He expresses interest both ways. Yeah, it depends on his mood and who tweeted at him. So it's kind of like,
I
That
love
happens when you get old.
I adore William Shatner. I know he's problematic, quote unquote, and also problematic in real life, perhaps. But I never tweet at him because I'm so afraid of being blocked. Like that he'll take a snapshot of my account and be like, "Oh no,
don't invite him on the show. He'll tell you he doesn't come on podcast."
No, well, and then I can't even say that this is not a podcast because then he'll go and actually.
He'll find it. He'll find it on Apple. On Apple Podcast. He'll be like, "Wait a minute."
I just want to say though that I came so close to meeting him at a convention and it was just not meant to be. I hope I should do one of those like live stream things. I just want to meet him. Our pal Ruben, who is the Q of the show, did meet William Shatner at a convention. He said it was like he was gonna faint. It was like it's like being in his presence. If you're like if you love anything as much as I love Star Trek the original series, especially the movie era, you just can't help but associate Captain Kirk with William Shatner. It's just hard not to see the two of them as the same thing. Father has a great story about William Shatner, by the way, that he's told many times. So if you guys want, go back and watch some Starfleet Boy After Darks about it. Jill says, since you guys are sharing your wildest dreams here, my dream is to bring back Hugh and have him see Geordi again. I would love that. I would have father's comment. I would really love this. In the teaser, there's a suggestion about regrets and time not letting you. What is it exactly that he says? He says something about like how time. It's
Oh,
different from his time as a companion speech from Generations. It's kind of more like a time gives you opportunities, but it also never gives you a second chance or something
yeah,
like
I think
that.
that's what he says.
And there's a suggestion that he might have. I don't know, there's just something about that that's like looming in my mind that's really intriguing, and I wonder if he's going to undo certain things. And so Hugh would be a really big one, because
I don't think Q has the power to undo things, though. I think we all give him
more credit.
Yes, I think he's not able to. Q, technically speaking, has never been able to predict the future. It's always visions or dreams or some shit like that. I don't think Q can control the future. Like, I don't think he's as omnipotent as we would think he is. You know what I mean? Because it's never been correctly explored, but I don't think Q has as much power as we give him credit. And also, it's all, he's fronting all the time, right? He's pretending.
Yeah.
That he'll never show you his weaknesses or that he's not that powerful. But anyway, sorry, go ahead.
We know he can change the gravitational constant of the universe, but
when they fight, they throw fucking suns at each other, right? Like they make them go supernova or whatever it is, the Q continuum.
Father,
they have suns explode, so they're powerful for sure.
Father, saying Q had the power to undo the Nausicaan stabbing. Has Jean-Luc chose that? I don't know that he really did. It's such. We should really go. I think in our discussion when we watched
Tapestry's
that episode,
a bizarre episode to like analyze, isn't it?
Trek on the Tube was like maybe he created a bubble universe and he was bluffing because he knew Picard would never want that light. Like he's able to show you an illusion.
I think it's all an illusion. I don't even think it's like a little universe or a separate timeline or an incursion, whatever. I think it really is just him playing mind games. He's like showing you something in your dreams, like he's making you live this whole thing, right? I feel like.
And isn't it also it's unclear?
Maybe though. I can't stand by that 100%, right? We don't know.
Also, it's unclear if Picard was dreaming all that while he was in this coma, right? Like
that would actually follow the theory that Q just inserts himself in your dreams sometimes. Like he's controlling your dreams now and then.
It could
He's got this thing with Picard that he wants to always control his dreams.
There's a lot we don't know about that, but I wonder if we won't get to see it. I do think that we're going to... Sir Patrick Stewart in the panel, by the way, does tease at different time periods throughout the whole series. So whether we're traveling actually back in time or traveling in some sort of like other fashion to events of the past or reliving the past, there is going to be some kind of timey-wimey, as we like to say, stuff going on. So something's going on, but it could be very interesting.
He's right. He said Father, he says that what I said is possible, but if these new writers chose to give Q the power to change time, there would be nothing to contradict it, like already established in canon. So they can do that. They can choose that.
Correct.
I don't want them to change things, but yeah, exactly. Computing, correct. But I bet we see Q power time travel. I wouldn't mind that. I don't like time travel as such because I think it gets a little complicated. But I wouldn't mind reliving or revisiting events from like different angles. You know what I mean? Seeing things from a different perspective. That I think could be fun. That have to do a lot of like Picard de-aging, I guess. But
so, do you think Tapestry is like Q's WandaVision?
Yes. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I like that. I really like that.
It's Q vision.
I don't want to spend too much time on Picard because we do have other stuff to cover, but I just want to ask, do you think the Nexus, another wild idea I saw on the internet or heard on a stream was that the Nexus will come into play somehow? What do you guys think? Is that a possibility that you can see or not?
I don't think it would suit Picard for me. I liked the idea of Nexus, but I didn't really like how it was executed in Generations, and then I don't think I'd like it in Picard either. I don't know why exactly.
Well,
I think I
there's a
just
lot of-
prefer Q to be kind of doing the timey-wimey stuff and not the Nexus.
cool.
But that's an interesting theory.
I think we're gonna get.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get some Stargazer stuff. They did an emphasis on the Stargazer in the shot. I think there's something about the archaeology with the Bajoran. What is it called again? The Reckoning tablet or something.
That would
like
be
that.
great. If we don't get like too much Q stuff or too much Prophet stuff or whatever it is, I think it would be interesting to at least explore Picard's passion of archaeology, and you could maybe have like the artifact that he's exploring, or like the kind of like the clues that he's exploring, be very important for the Bajoran people, or maybe Cardassian people. You know what I mean? Like, not necessarily the Cardassian and Bajoran were the same people all along. Not know what I mean? But I think that would be interesting, going down that archaeology path. Because he's old, you can't have him bloody running around shooting people all the time. He has to be crouching, digging shit up.
What's going to be the status? What do you think? What do you predict is going to be the, like? Will we be like a year later or right after the events of Picard series?
I think it'll be. I think it'll be like a year later, maybe. I think I would give it like the show now takes place in like 2501, maybe, or maybe just 20, like the end of 25, like 2500. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give it like a year, so that you could, for example, we talk about. I know that you have this argument that maybe Raffi and Seven are not a romantic couple.
Well, maybe they're not romantically involved. I've actually flipped on that.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, I have actually.
I didn't follow. I didn't follow the news.
Yeah. Hey,
okay.
I flipped on that. Yeah, I was at first. I was like, this probably means nothing, and it still could probably mean nothing. But now that I've seen all the intentionality behind this, with the performers and like all that, I think that they will do it as a statement, and that's fine with me. I don't care.
Instead of exploring the beginning of their relationship, you could just cut to a year in, and they've been in a relationship for a year, and it's like you don't even need to do any of those setup, storylines. It's just like they're in a relationship now. Let's move on. You know what I mean?
So it would be interesting. So where are they now, right? Like, so Raffi and Seven are living in the trailer at Vasquez Rocks. Why was that so funny?
Because the trailer was so depressing.
Well, maybe
because even after all of this shit, Picard still didn't acknowledge her or give her even like a table,
like a house on the chateau. You think Picard should? Maybe they moved the trailer to Chateau Picard. I'm sure it can fly.
Oh my god, this is even worse.
I'm sure
the disrespect. He transported the trailer and just put it in his vineyard.
Why not? Trailer life is cool. Did you see that trailer, by the way? I'm sure it was a mess because of Raffi's state, but it's a bitchin' trailer. I would kill for that trailer. That's like a really expensive trailer. It's like $1 million trailer.
We have to move on to another topic. Move us on to another topic.
Wait, so where's... so, okay, they're in the trailer. Where are Jurati and
Jurati should be in prison. But she won't be. By this time, Jurati and we've already skipped over all of their drama. Jurati and Agnes and Rios have already split up.
Oh, okay.
So now Sexy Boy Rios they're free
back
to
in
have him explore.
Is he back in Starfleet?
I don't know, but he's free to explore like romantic relationships with like other people on planet surfaces, right?
And where's Soji? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
This idea is kind of reminding me of All Good Things, just with all the characters are in the future, and we, just like we saw Data with his grey patch of hair, seeing everyone after so many years. I kind of hope that, I'm not sure if it's because I didn't like that we didn't really explore planets in Picard season 1, but I kind of hope that they've all disbanded from the last arena, if it's a time jump.
So she's working with Geordi somewhere.
Yeah, and it's more kind of focused
I
on
love that.
Earth. You know, Picard is in Chateau Picard more, or he's kind of traversing.
I'd like to see him
Earth.
getting back into into action of some kind, like maybe not back in Starfleet, but maybe as a diplomat in the. I would have always loved to. Would have loved it if he
like a
was
Federation affiliated archeological mission.
mission
That
or
isn't
something.
necessarily Starfleet, but
Right,
it's
but it's a Federation thing. I'd like to see him more active in the Federation. Maybe not Starfleet, but definitely like back in the mix. Agnes is also EGT's least favorite.
She went from my most favorite to my least favorite, like in I think about 5 crying episodes.
PE does not want any of the Motley
And a
Crew.
murder.
PE does not want any of the Motley Crew back. He wants like a brief scene. He wants like a brief scene with them, and then it's just Guinan and Picard and Q. So, all right, that's a wild one.
I have the opening shot for parenthesis. It's
all
like
right,
Picard looking at everyone and he says, "You're dismissed." They all go. They all leave. That's it. They're all gone.
Last chance, audience, to get in your questions about Star Trek Picard for this panel, because we're going to move on to the next thing. If you guys put in a question in the chat, we'll go back to it. But let's move on really quickly to Women in Motion. Sorry, I wrote it. It's Woman in Motion. Let me fix that. Which is the story of Nichelle Nichols and how she got NASA to budge, the space program to budge on their not including women in the space program as much as they should. What do you get? Did you get a chance to see the trailer for that, Toddy?
No, I didn't even know that exists. But okay, so there's a documentary that's coming out, or that has come out. Is it out or is it not out yet?
I think it may have had a limited release, and now it's going to get a wider release. Let's see. It says It says here the inspiring true story of Nichelle Nichols' determination to break racial barriers and change the future of NASA's space shuttle program. Stream Woman in Motion on June 3rd, exclusively on Paramount Plus. I think it may have come out in theaters.
It says 2019 on IMDb.
Yeah, so it was
very well rated
and reviewed. Yeah, so but I guess it'll have its Paramount Plus premiere.
Okay, that's interesting.
If I can buy it, I'm going to buy it tomorrow and watch it if it's somewhere else.
I've never seen it before. I just imagined it was a new release, but obviously it isn't. And I loved what the cast were talking about, you know, with Nichelle Nichols saying to Sonequa Martin Green, "This is yours now. This is your legacy. You're the Lieutenant Uhura of New Star Trek."
It kind of is, yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, and I also I loved just what they were all saying. It was really kind of rousing.
And I had no idea about Nichelle Nichols' involvement with the space program. That was very cool. It's like a hidden part of his. I hate that it's a hidden part of history that I didn't know that. Like, I love her, and I've definitely, like, you know, followed her career. So I'm excited about this this thing. So Jill said that it is on iTunes. I'm gonna get it tonight. I have to watch this. I know it's coming out on Paramount Plus, but I feel like I don't mind buying it. So that's gonna be something I'm gonna do this weekend. And I'll let you guys know what I think of it.
It's not a Star Trek specific documentary, is it? But it's in the same, like it's not a, you know, one of those Spock documentaries that cast on the bridge, but it feels like in the same vein. It's very connected to us as a fandom because Nichelle Nichols means so much to us Trekkies.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Have you seen her?
She's like luminous. Like, she's suffering from dementia, I believe. But I would not have known it being in her presence. She was just like so delightful and so with it and so present when I met her. So my own father has this condition, so I know it's good days and bad days. But it was really wonderful to see her on a really good day, and I got to have a photo with her, and I cherish it. And I just cherish. There were not a lot of people there, so I got to spend a little time with her and talk to her. And she said I was cute, and she invited me to go out on the town with her, which I would have loved to have. Yeah, paint the town. So it would have been really nice. Me and Nichelle, that would have been a great movie. Starfleet Boy in Motion. With Nichelle Nichols. But what were you gonna say, GT?
Have you ever seen the film Hidden Figures? No, it's
That's a great film.
Yeah,
Hidden
Hidden
Figures. It's
Figures.
a very great film about
I saw it,
the
I loved it, and
mathematicians.
then
Yeah.
I told my mother about it, and now she's like, "Oh my god, this movie!" Right? She's like, she watched it like 17 times. When she came to Canada, she's like, "We can watch it in figures again if you want." Like, all right, we'll watch it again. So yeah, she's the biggest fan of that movie.
I'm still amazed that Martin Luther King, of all people, inspired
She was
Michelle
going to leave the
Nichols.
show. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
to continue
crazy.
Star Trek. That's amazing.
And she took that that like mission, if you will, to heart and really did something amazing with it. What a great thing. And she was given, I think, the Presidential Medal of Freedom when President Obama was the president, if I'm not mistaken. I have to go back and look. So she's certainly an amazing person.
I mean, we were talking about Guinan earlier, but like, there's many interviews where
Whoopi Goldberg
talks about how Michelle Nichols influenced her and inspired her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was one of the best panels. Don Lewis was on, which you rarely see Don Lewis speak for an extended period of time. Our Captain Freeman, your captain, right? And she she was sharing some photos that she had with her throughout the years she's seen her, and I think it was like at Nichelle's birthday party or someone's birthday party, I forget, but it was pretty cool to see those pictures and hear some of the stories that Don Lewis had to share. And by the way, the other people on the panel were Mika Burton was hosting, and then Michelle Hurd, who's so eloquent and like so wonderfully. I think Robbie, you were saying like you're so moved by the way she speaks, right?
Yeah, I think every time she speaks, it reminds me of I'm blanking on her name. I can't believe I'm blanking on her name. Kate Mulgrew.
They both have a similar.
Speaks,
yeah, Kate Mulgrew's a great speaker too. It's
such
true.
an elegance in the way they speak, in such a rousing way that they speak, and then also it's lovely to me that Michelle Hurd, from what I saw, it seems like Michelle Hurd treats Issa Briones like a daughter. She was saying, "No, you were in Hamilton. You're our woman in motion in a way, trying to kind of to nudge Issa Briones a bit."
Yeah, it was so nice, and she was so shy. It was cute to see Issa Briones a little bit. You just turned on the light. I have to do the same thing in a bit.
I don't know my ring light, but it blinded me. It was like on power 10.
But Tadi's got to have the good lighting. But yeah, Issa Briones was on the panel as well. So it was a really nice panel to see the women of Star Trek, so to speak. I highly recommend actually watching that panel. I think it's the one that people will forget or skip over because of all the excitement of the other news and stuff like that. But it was a really
announcements, I guess, apart from
other than the
documentary in itself. Yeah,
true. But I highly recommend it. So good discussion on that. By the way, Jeremiah was a Squirtle, was a good friend of mine. That's how we always greet Jeremiah. We might have to come up with a new greeting for you. But I like that one, so whatever. I had no idea about Picard. Did the new season drop? Not yet, but the trailer, the teaser, teaser dropped, and an announcement that it'll come in 2022. So go back on the rewind and check out our discussion, or just go watch the panels. They're probably way cooler. I'm going to be lurking while I get the stats homework done. Statistics, wow. And then let's see here. Antonia lost the photo we took with Nisha. Oh, that's so sad. Do you have a photo of the photo? Sometimes I take photos of photos when I don't have a backup. So maybe that somewhere in one of your phones or something like that. Hidden Figures film is great, and the book is also great. Obama did indeed give Katherine Johnson the Medal of Freedom. She lived to 101. Oh, that's cool. And then PE says, I didn't see the panel. Was Nichelle herself on it? No, I don't think she can do. She's going to do her last kind of performance or appearance. It was delayed by COVID-19, so I hope they do it. But they had planned this whole like kind of farewell to Nichelle's public life event before COVID hit, and then COVID derailed that. So I hope they're able to still do that. But yeah, she no longer does, or she does very limited public appearances and interviews. So I don't think she would have been able to do the whole panel. Sadly, PE. This is really great. I knew you guys would be so sincere and great. Thank you, Blue. That's sweet. Well, we did this for you, kind of, Blue. So good. I'm glad you're pleased. I didn't see the Women in Motion panel. Got to check it out. It's really great. All right, Star Trek Discovery, and I'm gonna fix my lighting while Robbie take us away. Tell us about the Discovery panel.
So we see Michael Burnham in her environmental suit, and she's walking through this debris, the space rocks, if you will, and it looks like a cargo bay, and it's all messed up, and we see tidbits of the crew. It seems like they've not had a lot of Discovery filming, so maybe it's from the first episode, and the Discovery crew, they talk about an anomaly. That kind of reminded me of the Nexus a bit.
Gravitational.
Yeah.
It reminded me of The Expanse, but not the show. The Enterprise season 3 Expanse that they go into.
I was disappointed with this panel the most. The teaser the most, just because it seemed to me like we were going back to the mystery box storyline, and I'm kind of sick of that, to be honest.
I think it's going to play a very small part in the season, and that they just Discovery. I don't know if this is true. I'm not saying that this is true, but Sean maybe can back me up on this. I feel like the Discovery writers have a tiny chip and like to troll the audiences, especially the haters. Like, I feel like they intentionally will do things to like trigger people.
You think they embrace the
100%
hatred?
They can't.
I guess you have to. Being Discovery must be very difficult because it's the most hated on Trek show.
It's not hated on ever. I wouldn't say it's not hated on, but it's the most debated. I would say
it's the scapegoat, isn't it? It's used as like the example of why Trek is.
It just had the virtue. That it is. You know what? It had the virtue of being the first show in a long time, and I think that's gonna, no matter what
Discovery, con, right?
Yeah, no matter what Discovery was gonna be, it was gonna be either. It was going to be polarizing, because that's what TNG did. It's just like history repeating itself. Like TNG did the same exact thing when it came out, but then people were less hard on Voyager and
they were less online as well. That's the thing.
Like, that's true. Yeah, we have a whole.
I will say though that although I have slowly warmed up to Discovery a bit more, and I still have my personal gripes with it. This trailer is not something that I'm going to judge the season on at all, because I have quite literally nothing positive to say about it. It's either things like I don't like the uniforms, or things like I don't like the gravitational plot that they're doing, or things like I don't care about anything. Like I really wanted to see, but then I'm gonna say things that maybe they're gonna do and I don't know yet. You know what I mean? So I'll just leave it at that. Discovery is the teaser trailer that I was the most disinterested in or disappointed by. But then, like Robbie said, maybe they've only filmed 1 episode, 2. You know what I mean? Or maybe maybe they don't have enough footage, or maybe they didn't want to spoil too much. And like if you're gonna do, if they are gonna do semi-serialized stories, like episodic stories, then you can't really squeeze that into trailers, because you know what I mean. So maybe they're doing just the one little overarching plot. I don't know, but
I think the teaser is just the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. I think it
is a bit deja vu though. Like I think we've seen this before.
Yeah, you know I have to admit, I too am skeptical, in the sense that like, oh no, not another galactic, dilemma. That was the only part. Like the rest of the trailer I was fine with, and I was very intrigued. Like the uniforms aren't exactly what I would have wanted, but they're a lot better than.
They're not form fitting. I find like
there's something about them that's off, but they're not the worst. They're not as bad as the all gray ones. We didn't really get to see a lot. We got a glimpse of Navarre. We got like just little glimpses, little like just boop boop boops here and there, and just seeing our familiar characters. I mean, I'm glad we got to see Saru, and he looked like he was like a like I don't know, like he was like some kind of like
At this point, what
Yeah.
they should have done the same thing as Picard. They should have just given us pictures from the all 3 seasons of Sonequa. You know what I mean? Like and
I wish
have
they'd get like a
Sonequa Martin
sizzle,
Green
yeah.
do like a voiceover. Things are gonna happen, whatever. You know what I mean? And that would have got people more intrigued without necessarily showing us these uniforms that you know, unless they know the uniforms are shit, and so they want to like soften the blow.
Maybe I don't know. You get it out of the way.
The most excited thing that jumped out to me in the Discovery trailer was just to see Saru on the Discovery, because I imagined
Saru on the Discovery? That was him, right?
Oh yeah, there was a moment where he has the red uniform.
Oh, okay,
and then
cool.
And then there's another moment where he's got the more, I suppose, diplomatic position.
Whatever he is on, I know everyone's assuming he's a diplomat. That's really funny.
Yeah, I'm so glad. I hope he's a diplomat. That would be amazing, just to have a kind of B plot the whole season with Saru on Navarre. I think that would be really fresh because it's mostly just Discovery, and to have a kind of whole season B plot with him and the Navarre president, which I really liked her. That would be really interesting to me. Maybe even some political stuff. And I think also the Discovery teaser, there wasn't really anything exciting. It felt very generic to me, kind of like, you know, the explosions and stuff. Not to be rude,
it felt like one of those other sci-fi shows that gets cancelled after season 1. You know, like what is it? Vagrant Princess or whatever it was. You know what I mean?
I don't even
remember that shit.
I don't even know what that you're referring to, but
okay. Vagrant Queen. Vagrant Queen. You check out the trailer for that. It's the same shit. It's just like generic stuff with a few fights, a couple of colors, and then the show's canceled.
I have a lot of faith that Discovery season 4 will be a million times better than the teaser that we got, but I think they really wanted to give something to fans for this Star Trek Day event. So they were just like, let's pull to the.
This is a situation similar to when they released that initial first teaser for Discovery season 1, where they released the like really unfinished Discovery in the rock thing.
It's a lot better than
and people were like, "Oh no, what the fuck is this?"
That's true. That's true. I was not as I just see it as like a like they had to have their, because like it was kind of cool. Like no one predicted any trailers for this event, and we got teasers for just about every show except for Strange New Worlds, which we'll talk about at the end if we have time. That Strange New Worlds was absent, but there's a good reason for that. I think Jill and some other people gave me some really good.
I'm gonna have to leave eventually now.
Yeah, I know. The gravitational anomaly thing is a snooze fest beyond compare. Discovery trailer gave me the impression that season 4 will once again have the crew running around trying to save the entire galaxy. They basically had the theme for every other season too. Yeah, I just want like a season where they explore. It would be really, really nice to just get us. I mean, they're in the 32nd century. Everything's new.
It's done. It's Discovery has at this point, and I know it sounds really mean for me to say this. Discovery has now overstayed its welcome.
What?
And I know it sounds so mean, and I know there's so many Discovery fans out there.
I don't agree.
I will never take away from the fact that Discovery is very important for Star Trek. I know people deny this, but it's true. It brought Star Trek back. It gave Viacom CBS at the time the confidence to bring back Star Trek, but now it's done. Discovery has finished its mission. The mission is to bring Star Trek back. We have all of these shows. It has its own spin-off that can now live on Strange New Worlds and perpetuate the certain vibes or certain ideas that Discovery had. Discovery itself doesn't need to continue proving itself or trying to reinvent concepts in awkward ways in future seasons. It's like just give everyone give Burnham the captaincy. She deserves it. Give Saru a life on his home as like president of bloody Kaminar. He deserves it. You know what I mean? Give the bridge crew. Tell me that they all go on to become captains. I don't care. Till he becomes captain. Give them what they need and what they deserve, and then just end it. You know what I mean? But that might just be me.
PJ says
I feel like we don't need it anymore.
I think we still need Discovery. I feel like Discovery should have at least 7 seasons. I didn't think it. I would not have agreed with you. I would not have agreed with you in season 1 of Discovery, but season 2 really flipped me around. And then
I think season 3 is and I hope I'm wrong, but I feel like season 3 was peak Discovery.
We'll see.
I enjoyed season 3 of Discovery way more than I thought it would, but then the finale really disappointed me. It just felt so generic again, and I was really disappointed. Because I really liked Forget Me Not. That was a really touching episode, and then we devolved to Asira and strangling Burnham for a programmable matter wall, and that's probably my least favorite Discovery episode, just because of that. Because season 3 had so much promise for me.
Is he talking about Burnham specifically here, or Sonequa Martin? Like, Sonequa Martin Green's not pregnant, right? He's talking about Burnham's pregnancy.
I think she might have been pregnant, if I'm not mistaken. So it's
is this Burnham's pregnancy for? See, this is more interesting than anything that the trailer showed us. Is Burnham pregnant from Book? That would be great.
I would love that too. Actually,
just give me a sitcom with Book and Burnham and their kid. Boom.
Burnham Vision. You get Burnham Book. Oh no, that sounds bad. Sorry. That's do not burn the books. That's not a good name. Bookem. That's a better one.
Bookem.
Bookem. You can see the use of the AR screen in parts. That's cool. I got to go back and check that out. But I hope so. That's going to be wild and great. I was really glad to see the Navarre president again. Me too. Texture says, I hope the focus of season 4 is not a big bad space anomaly, but that they talk about it an entire season trip.
It's hard to
talk about it the entire teaser trailer. They really focus on it hard, and that sort of span of time. It's true.
Like, we all remember the first trailer that we got for Star Trek Beyond, right? It was just garbage.
Yeah,
it represented the movie so wrongly that Simon Pegg even made it like a comment about it, saying this is not the movie we made.
And then they did the recut of the trailer. I remember. Please just explore and meet cool aliens. I agree. We're gonna move on from Discovery because we don't have Sean for too long, and I definitely want to talk about Lower Decks with him because that's his show. That's your boy. That's your show. And
can I just say one last thing?
Yeah.
For me, Discovery doesn't do enough actual discovering. I just love visiting planets and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, me too. Sean wants to fire all the people working on that show. He's softened. Season 1, yes. He was like, fire them all.
Season 1, fire them all. I think that the people that I wanted fired left the show.
So he was happy.
No, I don't need people fired. Like, there are enough Star Trek shows around to like move people. Like, you don't have to fire everyone from Discovery. You can, put them on different shows.
Put them on the Shuttlecraft show. I totally agree with Toddy that time and money spent on making Discovery would be much better spent making other new kinds of Star Trek.
I mean, just cancel season 5 of Discovery and use that money to HD DS9 and Voyager, right? Boom.
Toddy, I know you have limited time. Lower Decks or Prodigy? Which should we do next?
Well, Prodigy's very quick. We got a Janeway.
Yeah, so
she's got very long legs. There's a bit of Uncanny Valley.
We'll do Lower Decks then. All right, Lower Decks. All right, Sean, you take this part. This is your what was your impression of the trailer?
I have two gripes that I kind of talked about off screen. I think it was off camera with PJ, and then the rest is all positive. My first gripe is I don't like that Burnham opens by saying, Burnham. Oh my God, fuck me. Mariner.
Yeah.
I don't like that Mariner opens by saying, let's do some sci-fi stuff. I don't think that the word sci-fi stuff is like appropriate for Lower Decks as a show. It's appropriate for Solar Opposites.
Science fiction.
It's appropriate for lower Solar Opposites. It's appropriate for Rick and Morty, but not for Lower Decks. So I don't like that they use that dialogue. And I think that, and this has been, I'll give PJ's argument as well. I said that I found Riker's voice a bit off. I said that I found Jonathan Frakes' voice acting a bit bizarre in the end of the trailer. But then PJ said to me that it's because Jonathan Frakes has more of a slower voice, and he has to adapt his style to the like the animation style and the very snappy kind of delivery that the show has. So maybe he's not quite getting it right, or maybe it's simply me that I have to adjust to that. You know what I mean? I have to adjust to snappy Riker.
I agree with
rather
PJ.
than
LDS is self-aware. It is a self-aware show. It does often look at itself. So I think that's just another one of those moments. Long Legs Janeway. We'll get back to that. But so
yeah.
then what
Other than that, I loved all of the little because we got little snippets from basically every episode, like Ransom, and then
that
like
was
all
my
of these
favorite
little
part, by the way,
snippets.
was
I
the
loved them.
Rainbow Ransom. We got the Ambujitsu. What do you think?
Yes.
Do you think Rutherford's just gonna have his memory back?
I don't know what they're doing with that. I really don't know what they're doing with that. I don't know where they're going with it. And I don't want to speculate too. Like, this is one of the shows where I'm just like, it's impossible to speculate anyway, because they're just all over the place.
I
But,
like it was just like it was just like quick clips. I like the Magatus in it. I forgot about that. Did you see the Magatu and the Denobulians?
Yes.
Denobulans.
I like the room with the 5 lights.
Yes, that's right. Oh, look at the Magatu. What? Hold
You
on.
know what? You know what? Even Wife on the Tube, which is she's not that like she's not tricky like us, but she's seen all of it. She recognized. She said, "Hey, look, that's the thing from your plush toy that you got. Oh, I've been replaced. There you go.
That's awesome. When you leave, we have someone to
There
replace
you go.
you.
I just got word from our boss Alex Kurtzman, and he said that Sean, that Trek on the Tube is being canceled right now.
Oh no!
Since he wanted to cancel Star Trek Discovery.
Just you know what? Oh god! Fuck you, Beta Shift.
Wow.
Beta Shift.
Wow. Wow.
All right. Well, on that, I love you guys so much. I gotta go.
Wait, real
All right,
quick, before you go.
What?
Just real quick, your thoughts on Janeway. Are you excited? Are you happy with Janeway? What's the deal?
I'm very intrigued with why and how she's an AI like thing in the ship. I want to see where they're going with that.
I think the Voyager shuttle thing is going to be the explanation. It's
perhaps
C4, and there's 4.
Oh, you think it's the yacht or whatever it is, like
the arrow.
We've never see
the arrow wing that we never
Aerosmith.
saw. The Aerosmith, yeah.
That we never saw. I would love that. That's great.
And that's
I'm
why
excited. Look, I'm very happy. Janeway, she's beautiful, and it's bizarre because when I used to be.
She helped raise you. She's your other mom.
She did, but now it's weird. Now she's younger, and I'm older, so it's weird. She's no longer my mother, but no, she's an AI. But yeah, I'm happy about it.
All right. Well, if you have to go, thank you so much for being on the show, Toddy. I appreciate it. It was fun talking about Star Trek with you. But now the real big guns are here. The heavy hitter, the man with the knowledge.
Oh yeah, now we have the real guest. I'll leave you guys with the real guest. Sorry, teasing. I apologize for coming on.
Oh no, come on, I'm teasing you. I was talking about Robbie, by the way. But
hey guys, thank you.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, it switched to this mode. Hey, Father, nice to see you on. I guess we could take a pick up where we were on Lower Decks. What were your thoughts on it?
I don't know. I don't have many thoughts based on the
30
seconds, I guess.
But
yeah, like I mean, it reminded me of all the things I like about the show. And I like seeing like the Miranda class ship flying around. I like the Magato that we got. I was happy to see Cardassians in a room with the 4 lights, like the torture room. And it had like some annoying stuff that bugs me, like let's do some sci-fi stuff, or I don't know, some of the Rikers. Dave has referred to the Lower Decks Riker as a coked up Riker, and yeah, that's definitely true. It's like Riker, but he's like on a little bit of cocaine when he's in the Lower Decks. But yeah, like I'm really excited to get more of that show. That is going to be the next Star Trek, unless they toss us some short treks sometime over the summer, which I think is possible. But
I hope so.
Otherwise, it'll be August 12th when we have a new episode of Trek to talk about. So mark your calendars. We have a date. We have something to look forward to.
It's true. LDS, that's the acronym for the Mormon Church. It's true. The Latter-day Saints. I forgot about that.
It certainly is.
Jill says, I love Rutherford, my favorite character. I'm a little worried for him. I'm worried for him too, but I think everything's going to be all right. Lower Decks doesn't strike me as like, well, they did kill Shaq, so I don't know.
Well, and we don't see a new security officer in here, so they're keeping that surprise close to their chest for the time
That's
being. Because I was curious
What-
about that. I was curious if we would see that or not, and not yet.
What's the? I can't believe I'm blanking on this. What's the name of the actor who plays Tom Paris?
Robert Duncan McNeil.
Robert Duncan McNeil. I saw on Twitter that he quoted the Lower Decks trailer with like a wink and then a star or something. So maybe he'll be in it. I don't know, but that just kind of made me think maybe he'll be in it. Some kind of Captain Proton thing or something. Because
He's
I'm
really
pretty sure
gunning
he's
for that
been
Captain
campaigning.
Proton
He's been like,
Yeah.
Captain Proton series.
Yeah, they want to do a Captain Proton short trek, and I think
I'm
Alex
down, why
Kurtzman
not?
has said he's open to it.
Oh, good. Okay, yeah. Like,
Because
why
I mean,
not?
I don't know if we'll ever get more short treks. They really don't need them now because the whole point of those was just to keep the Star Trek fans subscribed during the downtime between seasons. With all these shows, there's not going to be much downtime again. But there were ideas for more. Like they talked about, like they would want to do like a black and white one or a musical one, and like really weird experimental stuff that maybe you don't want to dedicate an entire episode to, but just if you want to just play around with it for 10 or 15 minutes. So I don't know if we'll ever see those ideas or not.
I think now, if that was the original intention of short treks, and now they're unbound by that, maybe they can truly use them as a sandbox and a way to like explore strange new ideas and stuff like that. I did notice an upgrade to the look of the Cerritos. Like the animation looks a little sharp. I don't know if it's just me, but the animation looked a little sharper with more shading and like things like that in that opening shot in the trailer. So that might have just been me, but it looked like a brand new kind of like treatment to the Cerritos. So I thought that was cool that the animation improves, and that happens a lot in animated shows, especially if they're successful. But yeah, Lower Decks, very exciting stuff. Mike McMahon said that the show was also renewed for season 3, so that's good news too.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that they'll probably start work on that pretty quickly. Maybe Lower Decks they'll be able to turn around a new season every 12 months. Maybe that'll just be something we get in August every year from now on. Because it's almost like to the date, isn't it? Like August 12th.
I think so.
It's close
I feel like,
to when the season 1 premiered. I think it was August 6th.
Gosh, can you imagine? That was the start of how many weeks of Trek? It was like 30. What was
23.
it? Like 23 weeks of Trek. That was insane.
For the first time ever. So are we going to get that again? But this time will it be even longer? Because we'll go through Lower Decks, then Discovery, then Prodigy, then Picard, then Strange New Worlds, and then it'll be time for Lower Decks again. Is that what's going to happen?
I think it's time for us to start our Patreons and get some funding to do this full time, because we're going to need to. So like maybe that's something that we'll have to do. Audience, I don't know if you'd support us, but we'd like to do this for you full time.
Eventually, after so many, just maybe a few seasons, we might even get close to a year of Star Trek.
I think it was supposed to happen, but COVID threw a wrench in it. But I think we were talking about that, right? Like they were going to get 52 weeks of Trek if everything lined up correctly.
Yeah. Well, that was, for a while they were talking about having 6 shows, but now it looks like they're going to do 5. And I'm very curious if Discovery, how many episodes are going to be in the season. If they're going to do 10 episodes like everyone else seems to be doing, or what? Because we know Prodigy is 10, Lower Decks is 10. Picard season 2, no one said, but I'm assuming 10 because that's what season 1 was. Discovery had like that 15 episode season 1 and a 14 episode season 2 and a 13 episode season 3. So they're kind of working their way down to 10. But yeah, if we have 10 of all 5 of them, that's 50 weeks. So that's basically a year right there. And maybe they want to put have like a 2-week break between shows. Maybe they want to like give people like a little bit of breathing room, stretch it out. That'll stretch it out to over a year. So, some of these shows, I know it takes longer than a year to turn around a new season. I'm surprised they're still promising to get Discovery season 4 out this year.
Michelle
I think
Paradise did a tweet that said they're working like insane hours, like overtime, like to try to get it out for us. So yeah, 100%.
I think that might be a result of just like the COVID production, how everything has to be planned so carefully before they roll cameras. That maybe in some ways that sped up the process, even though it slows down editing and some of the other some of the other steps. Maybe it's in the grander picture has actually like made it easier to turn it around within a year.
I wonder if Paramount is pushing them to get Discovery out faster because maybe they consider it, the main show.
Yeah, I mean it is the main show. The hardcore fan base, I don't think prefers Discovery, but that's definitely the one that general audiences and Paramount Plus seem to cling to as the flagship show. If we have to have like one designated flagship show, then it's Discovery. And I'll say this too: at Star Trek Las Vegas in 2019, you would be surprised how much of an insanely large turnout of Discovery fans there were. How like the Discovery actors were getting like the most attention, the most photographs, the highest attended
That's really
panels.
cool.
Like they had to stop. They had to like turn people away from like taking pictures with Ethan Peck. So many people wanted to go have their picture with the new Spock, and they were finally like no, like this guy has to eat at some point. Like no more pictures. We are sold out of pictures.
That would have been me. I would have been the last, the guy who waited, and then they're like, "Sorry, sir, Mr. no, Ethan Peck for you."
Remind me to tell you a funny story about Tim Russ from Star Trek Las Vegas 2019. It might be a good Starfleet Boy After Dark story.
Well, we are on Starfleet Boy After Dark, the official Starfleet Boy After, but it might be a good one for later. Yeah. Do you know if the timing works out such that the new episodes of Star Trek shows will be coming out at the same time as the new episodes of Star Wars shows on Disney? Ooh, I have no idea, but I reckon that there will be some overlap. It's possible.
I mean, they're both aiming for year-long content, and I think we're going to see the same thing with with Marvel, with I think DC kind of already had that for a little bit with DC Universe. Now they're having to reconfigure their distribution with HBO Max. But yeah, I think like every week we're going to have a new episode of a DC show on HBO Max. It'll be Green Lantern or Doom Patrol or Stargirl or something. But we'll have that. We'll have a new Marvel show episode on Disney Plus. We'll have a new Star Wars episode on Disney Plus, and we'll have a new Star Trek show on Paramount Plus. And I'm okay with that. I like the weekly distribution. I was never a big fan of Netflix doing like those big whole season drops. I think that's harder to consume it all right off the bat and then like go out and like talk about it and have like conversations about like episode by episode.
Yeah, I have to admit that one season of The Expanse that dropped all at once was nice from the perspective of like, oh, I got to see it at my leisure, but which I watched it over a weekend. But then I was extremely like longing. I was like, oh, like that's it. So the weekly model does work a lot better.
Yeah, and I mean, like if it all drops on a Friday and you don't binge watch it that entire weekend, you're going to be spoiled. So and I don't know, I guess I avoid spoilers harder than sane people. I'm kind of like insane about how like I won't even watch trailers or like read articles about stuff that I'm really looking forward to. Like I'll wake up, I'll alter my sleep schedule and like wake up in the middle of the night to watch it as soon as it drops. I didn't do that with that movie, the King Kong Godzilla movie, and it got spoiled for me with a meme on Facebook the next day.
That's like sorry, fathery.
So yeah, but I'm all for like the weekly distribution. It's good for what we do with having like these these fan conversations about stuff. So I'm pretty happy about the direction these things are heading into.
Oh,
I don't think.
Go ahead, sorry.
I don't think they're scared to do that because I think Mandalorian season 2 overlapped with Discovery season 3.
It did. It certainly did.
PE says I was at STLV 19. The whole event definitely struck me as a huge Discovery and Picard promotional event with the other Star Trek stuff on the side. Very cool. Let's move on. Unless there's anything else anyone wants to talk about Lower Decks. Any other final thoughts about Lower Decks before we go on? What did you think of the panel for Lower Decks? That was fun.
Well, the comedy panel.
With
What do they
Brent
call
Spiner.
it? The
Yeah,
B stories. The B
Yeah.
story panel.
I thought
But
that was very
was
interesting
cool
with
to see.
Brent on there with them.
And who
And
else is Mike
Jonathan
McMahon?
Frakes, Brent Spiner, Mike McMahon, and who else?
Paul F. Tompkins, he was
Paul F.
quite
Tompkins,
funny.
yes.
Oh yeah.
He's
And they
very
wanted Tawny Newsome, but she was unavailable.
She was unavailable. That's a shame because she's great. She's very funny too.
Yeah, and I'm in love with her. But
she has great tweets.
that was, I think, the funnest part of that was knowing how big of a TNG fan Mike McMahon is, and how much he loves like the funny, quirky side of Star Trek, and him being able to talk about like the funny moments of Star Trek with Jonathan Frakes and with Brent Spiner.
He got their attention. Cool. He got their attention in that one moment where he says, like, I love that the humor in TNG never punched down. Like, it was never like, it was always like a very like from an innocent kind of place. And that was always like a good thing. And they like, I think it was either Brent Spiner or Jonathan Frakes who was like, oh yeah, wow, that's a really good point you made. Like it was very cool. It was like a fanboy dream of mine to get Jonathan Frakes and Brent Spiner to agree with me. So I felt Mike McMahon's thing. Father's on the phone, I think. That's really cool.
And Tony just called me and asked me what I wanted for her to pick up for supper.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it.
I think
that reminds me of something.
I think if I can't promise this was true, but I think I saw an article and Mike McMahon said that season 2 would feature more Deep Space Nine, would kind of delve into different shows a bit more with each season, which is a really interesting idea, but obviously with TNG at the soul of the show.
Yeah, that TNG. Well, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, they, I think, and Star Trek: The Next Generation kind of encompass a whole era, right? Like, and I guess you could include Enterprise as a in a weird way, it can be connected to that same era. Some people, I guess people for ease call it the Berman era. I like to just call it the TNG era because it's like a little less emphasis on one person or one individual since there were so many people that made Star Trek. So, yeah, the TNG.
And I loved.
What's that?
I loved seeing Deep Space Nine on Lower Decks, even if it was just a tiny scene. That was wonderful.
Yeah, it was very cool.
They've been very cautious not to show too much too much DS9 stuff in recent years. Like they do a whole lot of original series and a whole lot of TNG and Voyager stuff, but they're holding back on DS9, and I always wonder if they're saving it for something big. Like
maybe Picard.
I would really love it.
Or season 8.
Tablet.
Season 8 might be a real. Maybe the success of the documentary got some people wondering if season 8 could not be a real thing. Or
I would be down. It's risky. It's risky because what if it doesn't work? But I think I would be down for like a DS9 reunion show.
Yeah, a limited series like what they did with WandaVision would be totally acceptable, I think, where it has like a nice little bow on the like it's just like self-existing moment in time.
Everyone's going to compare it to the to that season 8 documentary feature though. And like you can't do that same thing. Like it has to be different than that. So
yeah,
you do.
Yeah. Well, I mean yeah, it'll be interesting to see what becomes of it, but at the very least I would love it if just come on, just remaster it. This is my moment to like do that Stan again.
You're just gonna have to wait for the AI technology to be cheap enough.
We're getting there. I feel like we're getting there.
Yeah. No, we're getting there. I mean, like, look what they did with Babylon 5 on HBO Max. But I'll say this: like, they didn't do as good of a job with B5, the remastering on it. So I don't want them to do I don't want them to do Deep Space Nine yet. They need to wait till they can smooth it out a little bit better.
Yeah, it's true. I got to get back on my Bab 5 rewatch, but I'm watching Deep Space Nine season 3 right now, so that I'm super informed when your discussion comes out. So
you'll be caught up when me and Dave get to it at some point soon.
Absolutely. Here it is. Star Trek. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Robbie.
All right. I'm afraid I'm not watching Deep Space Nine right now, and I'm loving your discussions, but I'm trying to watch it all from the start, all the way through. But I will get around to Deep Space Nine. It will probably be after your discussions, but I'm still really enjoying your discussions anyway.
You've seen it before, though, right?
Yeah. It's my favorite.
Okay. Yeah, my favorite too. A lot of people's favorites.
Here it is. There she is. That little spot, that little space in the middle was reserved for Janeway.
Does she have her hair different than before? Is it like a lot shorter, or is it just like pulled back?
I think it's just bun. I think the bun's back there.
The bun of steel. So they're going with like the seasons, like 1, 2, and 3 look.
Yeah, season 1, 2, and 3.
Instead of like the short hair Janeway from later seasons, or is it just like even shorter? And it's just like, I want a profile view, I guess. But that's my only thoughts on it is her hair and the lack of rank peps, which they have explained.
Yeah, so she's a emergency command hologram.
Emergency training hologram.
Oh, okay. I heard command somewhere, but yeah, okay. Emergency. I thought in the panel they said command, if I'm not mistaken.
The Hageman brothers. I can't remember which one is who, but one of the Hagemans said emergency training program, I believe.
Okay. I thought it was command training, maybe. I don't know.
Here, I think you might be thinking of in the show when the doctor became the emergency command.
Oh, that's probably what I'm thinking. I think I'm 100% thinking that, actually.
Oh, they gave us another tidbit about one of the side characters, but I'll save that for whenever you're ready to move on.
Yeah, let's just do another close-up here of Janeway.
It's cool to see that Voyager era uniform looking pristine in a new modern product, you know?
It does look really good. Like, they did a really good job. So there's a painter.
Why is it gray? Shouldn't the turtleneck part be purple?
Purple. Yeah, that's a good call out. There is although the uniform probably updates when it interfaces with the Starfleet databanks, but there's a quality to it. The animation has a painterly quality to it, like in addition to being CG. Do you notice like the little brush strokes here and stuff like that? Like, and I really love that. I think that's a wonderful mix of like CGI and like traditional animation, but you could definitely see like the hair looks traditionally like a CGI stringy kind of hair and stuff. And I don't know, it's epic. What a treat for Kate Mulgrew to be voicing this character. And she even commented about how like she was like I asked them to change the chin a little and things like that. So that was kind of funny.
For me,
it's an easy gig too.
What's that?
It's an easy gig. Like, she doesn't have to leave her house.
She's
probably not like that big of a part. Doesn't have that much dialogue to record. It's probably just like a little bit for each episode. So it must be nice.
I wasn't really like, I was gonna watch it like just to review it or talk about it, but now I'm kind of excited about the show. Like, I was like, oh, this is a show that's great as an entry point for kids and stuff like that, but I didn't think I was going to be like super. I rarely enjoy children's programming, but I think this is going to be a little different. And they even suggested that it's an all ages show at its heart, which is a lot of traditional animation was like that. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of cool things for all age groups. So I
hear it compared a lot to the Legend of Korra and Avatar shows, which I know like a lot of adult people who still watch that show and enjoy it. I haven't watched those, but I like quite a bit of all ages stuff. Like, some of my favorite TV shows are like the Bruce Timm DC shows, like Batman the Animated Series from the 90s. I really liked Star Wars Rebels and some of Star Wars Clone Wars.
Yeah, I really enjoy those shows a lot too.
I don't know if this does run the risk of maybe it is too like dumbed down for kids and not as engaging as we would like. That's a possibility, but the good news is that it's going to be set in the Delta Quadrant. It's not going to affect anything. If there was a show that you wanted to ignore, this is probably the one that has the least amount of consequences.
Oh, interesting point. Yeah,
I still look forward to giving it a fair shot, and I'll cover it. Even if I don't like it, I'll still talk about it.
What were you going to say about the little tidbit about the TOS? Was it TOS or something?
Yeah, right at the end of their panel, the showrunner said one of these characters has a
TOS connection.
TOS connection, and that's all they said. So is it Rockman?
Oh,
Is
is
he
he
like
the rock monster from Star Trek 5, maybe?
yeah?
Well,
Or is it
or they were saying the
short shit?
Excalbion.
Is he the
Excalbion. He might be a redesigned Excalbion, but did they have like 3 eyes or something weird like that?
I don't think they had any eyes.
Or any eyes at all. Yeah.
Maybe the
but-
robot's Landry or something.
The robot could be Landry. But I think that short dude, maybe he is. And we were thinking Talaxian, but maybe he's a Tellarite, like Aaron Harvey said.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I don't know. It's tough to say, but he could be a Tellarite. Yeah, it's a good point.
I mean, Delta Quadrant though, so maybe Talaxian. What is someone from TOS doing in the Delta Quadrant? But I mean, like you had like some Klingons cruising around over there. You had everyone from the Alpha Quadrant ended up in the Delta Quadrant. So they beamed a Romulan on board at one point. There is a Cardassian lady running around causing trouble. So yeah, why not? Anyone can be in the Delta Quadrant, I guess.
It's true. Landrew, do not worship. But they didn't give us any much more than that. They did tease at the they did say that they were in the Delta Quadrant. A lot of people online are speculating that the ship that they find these guys where the hologram of Janeway is going to be on is that Arrow, what is it called? The Arrow Glide, the Arrow
Shuttle.
Arrow Shuttle or whatever it is. Yeah. So I think that makes sense because supposedly in the comics or something that it got lost or stolen or something like that.
In the ship. I don't think that's what they're doing. I think they're going to want to design their own ship.
Well, it'll be curious to see how they tie it together. I have no idea.
I don't know. I don't know what a Janeway hologram is doing over. I don't know if like they're still in contact with the Federation. They had like the Pathfinder program and all that stuff with Barclay and Admiral Paris. It's like like Delta Quadrant and Alpha Quadrant, like they can call each other. Like they can call these kids and ask them what's up. Neelix is still over there. Neelix is probably like on the phone with all the Voyager crew all the time, So,
really? I didn't realize. I forgot that Neelix stayed.
I would think that Neelix would have to factor in here at some point. There is a really cool sandbox there in the Delta Quadrant. There, like a lot of fun stuff you could play with. I mean, you have like the Hirogen are good baddies. You have like the Vidians are creepy. You have the Borg are like one of the ultimate Star Trek villains. So there is like some neat stuff to do. I don't want them to make it just like constant like sequels to like things we already saw in Voyager. Based on these character designs, though, they're not doing that. There's going to be a lot of like new, fresh stuff in the show.
Any final thoughts on it, Robbie?
Maybe even the K-Zone would be more appropriate for a kids show. And also my lack of anticipation for Lower Decks, and just how happy I was with Lower Decks made me more excited for this show than maybe I would. I know, none of the Lower Decks team are behind this, but usually I just like a kind of tangible Star Trek where I see it all in 3D, not animated, but Lower Decks kind of opened my eyes that animation can be just as exciting, and it's even my favorite, and I'm really surprised at that actually, because I never thought Lower Decks would be my favorite. I thought it would just be, maybe it'll be good. And I'm still really happy with what Mike McMahon did.
Very cool. Very nice closing thoughts on that. All right, last but not least, and thank you guys for sticking with us so long. We've got a few people still in the audience. Is Star Trek Mission Chicago? And Father, I kind of want to give you the stage on this one because you've been to STLV, and so tell us what you thought of what they revealed about Mission Chicago and the Mission series in general, and like what your hopes and your fears are about it.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff you could really get in the weeds with Creation Entertainment, the company that does Star Trek Las Vegas, and I don't know if Star Trek Las Vegas is going to become a thing of the past. There's a contract with Creation that's expiring, and they're were already concerns of like, will it be continued or not? Will Star Trek Las Vegas still exist? Right now, it kind of feels like it's okay if it doesn't, though. If Vegas goes away, because it's no longer going to be like the premier Star Trek convention. They're going to do these Star Trek missions. I love the idea of doing it in different cities every year. I think Chicago is a great place to do it for the first time because you're in the middle of North America. So East Coast and West Coast people both have a shorter flight to get there. And, me in Austin, that's a real short 3-hour, 4-hour direct flight from here to Chicago. So
It's a yeah.
I feel obligated to go just because it's so close to Texas.
Can you hear that noise?
No.
I cannot.
Oh, I can hear a weird kind of, just a weird kind of, almost like an air spray noise. Maybe it's on my end.
Oh. Anyways, go on, Father. Sorry.
Well, I think that the things that they cited, that it's going to have not just like a bunch of actors there, but they were talking about like interactive experiences and stuff like that. And it really makes it sound like, this is going to be like a once in a lifetime opportunity. I have to go there to like really see it, really experience it. And I think that's going to be hopefully like a big draw. And we have like big crowds, big turnouts, and a lot of people have a good time. I think there's a good shot that I'll be there. It's right after I'll get back from the Star Trek cruise next spring. So it'll be like a lot of Star Trek stuff all at the same time. But I love Star Trek, so it's going to work out for me. What about you? What do you think about it? You're muted.
I 100% will be there, and I'm so excited. Sorry, Robbie, I muted you too because of the noise you were making with the headsets. But does it sound better now?
Yeah, I think it was because I had it plugged in.
Oh, gotcha. I'm 100% excited about it. I'm definitely going to be there as soon as the tickets go on sale. I'm buying them. I already requested the time off of work, so it's already done. And I'm so psyched about it. I think it's cool that it's got an official capacity, whereas like Paramount directly is involved with it. So I feel like it's going to open up new avenues for like people who are getting bookings of like talent and all sorts of things, and the experience is just going to be like totally. Did I just turn bright all of a sudden and like the color? That was weird. All right.
I've known you for a few years. I've would never describe you as bright. No, I'm just kidding. You're very bright.
Thank you.
You're one of the brightest people I know.
Thank you. But yeah, I'm super excited. I was already making jokes about Star Trek Mission Miami. What are some cities? What's that?
Well, I'm hoping Dallas or Houston at some point.
Yeah.
But
I think they'll do international too. I have a feeling that they'll do the US first. Like they'll do Star Trek Mission. For sure, San Francisco's got to be one. I mean, come on, like Starfleet HQ, right? Like I feel like New York might get one, Dallas or Houston, Miami possibly. But I'm okay if they don't. But it'd be cool. Los Angeles will probably get one for sure.
Probably do Orlando if they were hitting up.
Florida. Yeah. Oh yeah, that makes a good point. It's a really good point. And Orlando has really great convention spaces, and certainly could hold has the capacity to hold a convention like that if they wanted to. But I wouldn't doubt seeing a London version, and maybe even
or they might start doing that with Destination.
That's right. They have the whole thing on that and stuff like that.
Instead of they have where do they have the Germany convention? What city is it? Is it Berlin?
Actually, it might be Berlin. I'm not sure.
But instead of just doing like Germany and London, they might move those around a bit.
Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of possibilities. Toronto could possibly get one since that's where they film, and who knows, just like lots of cool possibilities. But I'm very excited about it. It looks like something that they're really committed to, at least for the next few years, for the next.
I don't know the company doing it, Reed Pop, but I know they did like they've had some Star Trek Mission events before in New York. They had one at the ship that you could tour. They've worked with them before, but I'm all for the big like fan events like this. I love to like meet other fans in person. I love to see the actors and talent and get to ask them questions. And I think it's a great place to do big announcements if they're going to like show new trailers, if they're going to announce like things happening on the shows or movies at some point. I think this is a great place to do it, and I would rather see stuff like that happening here than at like San Diego Comic-Con. You know, I want to like in the family, like let's do some stuff that's just for us, just for like the Star Trek fans, and throw some big stuff at us at these conventions.
Right on. PE says, I'm psyched about Mission Chicago. It's driving distance for me, which makes it more appealing. That's awesome than STLV. And then also Reed Pop does Star Wars Celebration, which is a huge event,
wow.
and the New York Comic Con. So yeah, that gives me a lot more.
Too.
Yeah.
Star Wars Celebration, they go to a different city.
Nice. I'm glad they're adopting that model. It makes sense now why they partnered with Reed Pop, since it's not something they've been doing. Very cool. All right, so I think we covered everything. It was a really cool stream, but it'll be my first.
My dog is telling us that we need to wrap it up.
Yeah, we need to wrap it up. Depending on when it happens, I may be able to go if it's on spring break. That's awesome. Hey, I'll make sure to around the time of when it approaches to make sure that we do some coverage, and maybe we can all do a meetup. All of us, anyone who come from this audience and etc. who goes. Robbie will not be there. He's already made that clear. He won't be at this one, but I definitely plan to go to London someday. So Robbie, if Father and I are in London, you have to come to Destination Star Trek in London. So you must go.
He doesn't want to go all the way down to London.
No, London is not far. I may not like London, but I'll still go to London.
I don't like it either. I think it sucks.
I hope that the real First Contact Day is in Montana at Bozeman, and they have some kind of Vulcan act, just even a pretend First Contact.
I'm gonna show it with pointed ears. I'm gonna come driving into that town with pointed ears. Like, where the hell is that Zephyr Cochrane at? I gotta shake his hand.
Jill, you read my mind. What about Strange New Worlds? Well, there was no. Oh, look at how I spelled worlds. Well, oh, that was you. Okay, so I thought that was me putting up my banner. Hold on, Strange New Worlds. There we go. Yeah, there was no Strange New Worlds announcement, but someone on Twitter reminded me that we just got an announcement that they were filming and a casting announcement. So it is kind of nice that they're spreading it out a little bit. So we'll probably see some Strange New Worlds news in the late summer or at the San Diego, Comic-Con.
I think we'll get that in July at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yep. Closing thoughts, gentlemen.
I do have many more thoughts, but I will save those until Friday when at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central, we're doing an emergency Text Trek stream. I wanted to take it off for my birthday, but they decided to have like this huge First Contact Day event. I was like,
on your birthday week. It's true.
They'll like give us like a little bit of Picard season 2 casting news. I don't think they're gonna do a whole lot. This is the most stuff we've ever gotten in one day, I think, ever.
Yeah,
it was really exciting. Yeah,
I was just so impressed with it. I found it a lot more entertaining than Star Trek Day, and I just loved all the conversations between the cast. It's really interesting to just kind of get to know their insights a bit more, their funny anecdotes, and also Favre, what better way to celebrate your birthday, if I may say, than to talk Star Trek? You know?
Yes, I mean that's probably what I was gonna do anyways. So it's gonna be a little earlier than normal. It'll be at 3 in the afternoon for me instead of at like 7 or 7:30 in the
or
evening.
Eastern. Tune in. So TQIF will start a little early. It'll be lit because it'll be Father's pre-birthday party in a way. I hope. I'm gonna do my best to make it in some way or another, either in the chats or something else. And then that night, we're doing a Drunk Space Nine takeover of Starfleet Boy After Dark. So the boys from Drunk Space Nine, we're gonna be recording a Drunk Space Nine, and then we're gonna hop on and get lit further on there. And hopefully, Father will call us from his birthday shenanigans wherever he is, or maybe he might come on. We'll see. But in either case, happy birthday, Father. It's been a real joy talking Trek with you and getting to know you better, and I consider you a friend, and I wish I could give you a big birthday hug in person and treat you.
You can give me a hug at Mission Chicago or at Star Trek Las Vegas if we have that this year.
It's true. Looking forward to it. Robbie, thank you for staying up late with us tonight. We really appreciate you and your insights. Great conversation, gentlemen. The time flew by so quickly. Audience, thank you as always for giving us your time, and live long and prosper. And we will see you